Hello, and welcome to a new episode. In this video, we're going to talk about what it really means to relocate to Curaçao. We'll share our personal experience, how we made the move, what challenges we faced along the way, and everything we wish we knew before coming here. We'll also go through practical things that matter, from residency and documentation to reliable companies that can help you with the process. And of course, we'll talk about the real cost of living, what to expect when it comes to groceries, rent, buying property, and how expensive, or affordable, life here actually is. So if you're thinking about moving to Curaçao, this video is for you. We first discovered Curaçao during a vacation, and we instantly felt something different about it. We loved the island, the atmosphere, the lifestyle, so we kept coming back, again and again, until at some point, we started asking ourselves a serious question. What if we actually moved here? Because the truth is, our work allows us to be flexible. We work remotely, which means we can do what we do from pretty much anywhere in the world, as long as we have a laptop. So instead of making a rush decision, we decided to do it the right way. We came back to Curaçao for a longer stay, about a month, and during that time, we didn't treat it like a vacation anymore. We stayed in different areas of the island, trying to understand what it really feels like to live here day by day. At the same time, we started meeting with people, relocation companies, real estate agents, tax advisors, and also looking into medical insurance and everything related to the legal process, so we could gather all the information we needed and build a clear plan before making the move. And once we had a clear plan, we decided to go all in. We packed our entire life, everything we had built over more than 40 years in Romania, and started a completely new chapter. And when we say everything, we really mean everything. Because we chose an empty place here in Curaçao, so we could build it exactly the way we wanted, from the beginning. There's also something important to know. When you obtain residency here, you usually have up to 1 year to bring your personal belongings into the island without paying import taxes. That includes furniture, electronics, and even your car, as long as certain conditions are met. So we decided to take advantage of that. We arranged a shipping container and sent it ahead of us, fully packed with furniture, clothes, and everything we needed to start over. At the same time, we had already secured our place and started the renovation process. New floors, new bathrooms, a completely new kitchen, basically building everything from zero, exactly the way we wanted it. Shipping the container from Romania to Curaçao was not cheap. It cost us around $10,000, but in the end, it allowed us to bring our entire life with us and start here feeling at home from day one. While we were waiting for the container to arrive in Curaçao, which took around 2 months, we were already in the process of getting our residency. In our case, we chose to work with Dos Mundos, and honestly, the process itself was much smoother than we expected. The most challenging part was actually gathering all the documents. Things like birth certificates, marriage certificates, financial documents, health-related paperwork. All of that took time and attention. But once everything was submitted, they handled the rest, and everything moved quite fast. So by the time we had our flights booked to come here permanently, which we planned around the arrival of our container, our residency was already approved. When we arrived, we only had to go to the office, sign a few documents, take the photo, and receive our Curaçao residence cards. Of course, Dos Mundos is not the only option. There are several other professional companies that can help you with the process. For example, firms like Corpag Curaçao, Embrace Consulting, or Van Dorn all provide relocation and immigration services. The important thing is to have the right guidance, so you don't go through the process alone. If you're considering relocating to Curaçao, it's important to understand that there are several types of residency options depending on your situation. For example, one of the most common paths is through an investor permit. This is based on the value of your investment, with different levels. Around $280,000 can qualify you for a 3-year permit, around $425,000 for a 5-year permit, and higher investments can even lead to long-term or indefinite residency. Another option is a work permit. This usually requires a local employer to sponsor your application, which means you need to have a job already secured on the island. There are also study permits for those enrolled in local education institutions, and family reunification permits if you're joining a partner or family member who already lives here. And for people working remotely, there's also the At Home in Curaçao program, which is designed for digital nomads and allows you to live here while working for a company abroad. Each of these options comes with its own requirements, documents, and timelines. So understanding which one fits you best is one of the most important steps before making the move. And of course, these are general examples. So always check the latest requirements or speak with a specialist. And if you want more detailed information, feel free to leave a comment below. We'll do our best to share our real experience and help you understand the process better. So, we had our residency approved, we arrived on the island, the renovations were done, and then, the moment we had been waiting for. The container finally arrived. And that's when everything became real. We started unpacking our life, piece by piece, and slowly turning an empty space into a home. For the shipping and delivery from the port to our house, we worked with a local relocation company. In our case, Essex. But there are also other good options on the island, like AMC Cargo, Meyer Moving, AGS, or Milrick Transport. They handled everything, from picking up the container at the port to delivering it safely to our home. And honestly, they did a great job. The cost for this part was around $1,500 for the full delivery to the house. And after all the waiting, all the planning, this was the moment when everything finally started to come together. And once everything was in place, we had our residency, we finished setting up the house. That's when our new life here really began. So let's talk about something everyone wants to know, the real monthly costs. Just to give you a clear example, based on our situation. For housing, we chose Blue Bay Resort, which is considered one of the more premium areas on the island. Our rent is around $3,000 per month. On top of that, there are monthly HOA fees, which include things like pool maintenance, security, and shared areas, and those are about $380 per month. Utilities, meaning water and electricity, for us are roughly around $150 per month. For internet and mobile, we went with a premium package from Flow, which includes high-speed internet at home and 2 mobile subscriptions, and that comes to about $190 per month. When it comes to food, that's a bit more subjective. Everyone has different habits, different lifestyles, so it's hard to give an exact number. But what we can do is show you what prices actually look like here, so you can get a real idea of what to expect. Now when it comes to food, this is where things can surprise you. Most of the products in Curaçao are imported, which means prices are generally higher compared to what you might be used to in Europe. For example, milk is around $2 per liter. Eggs can be around $4 to $5. Chicken around $7 to $9 per kilo. and beef can easily go up to $15 or even $18 per kilo. Basic products like pasta, rice, or bread are not extremely expensive, but they are still slightly higher than what you might expect. But at the same time, there are also some surprisingly cheap options. For example, you can find a pack of crab here for around just $1, and even a can of cola can be under $1. So it's really a mix. Some things are expensive, some things are surprisingly affordable. And in the end, it all depends on how you adapt your lifestyle and shopping habits. One thing we noticed is that food here tastes different. Meat, fruits, and vegetables have a much more natural flavor. And honestly, anything you cook at home can taste better than some restaurants in Europe. Now let's talk about one of the most important aspects when moving to Curaçao. Housing. Because this is where your biggest monthly cost will be, and the range is quite wide. At the lower end, you can still find smaller apartments or more local homes, starting somewhere around $500 to $800 per month. For example, there are listings even around 500 to 600 euros for studios or smaller apartments in more local areas of the island. If you move into a more comfortable range, with better locations or gated communities, you're usually looking at $1,200 to $2,000 per month. And once you go into more premium areas, like Thiel, Blue Bay, or close to the beach, prices typically go between $2,000 and $3,500, and can go even higher. For example, in Blue Bay Resort, apartments are often listed around $3,000 to $4,000 per month, while villas can go above $5,000 or even $6,000 per month. So overall, rent here can vary a lot, depending on location, comfort, and lifestyle. Now, if you're thinking about buying, the market follows a similar pattern. According to real listings, entry-level properties can start from around $200,000 to $300,000. Mid-range homes are usually between $400,000 and $800,000. And in premium areas, like Blue Bay, properties can easily go above 800,000 euros and even past the 1 million mark. In fact, the average listing price on the island is already above $1 million. And then there's the luxury segment. Oceanfront villas, high-end properties, which can go into several millions. So the reality is, Curaçao is not a cheap market, but at the same time, it offers a wide range of options, from affordable local areas to full luxury Caribbean living. And in the end, it all comes down to one thing: what kind of lifestyle you're looking for. Having the right real estate agency can make a huge difference. In our case, we worked with Palmstone Real Estate, and we had a very good experience. They were professional, easy to communicate with, and helped us understand the local market step by step. But of course, they are not the only option. There are several well-known agencies here in Curaçao, like Remax, Century 21, International Fine Living, and many others. Each of them offers different listings, different approaches, and sometimes access to different types of properties. So it's a good idea to explore multiple options, talk to a few agents, and see who you feel most comfortable with. Because in the end, this is not just about finding a property. It's about finding the right place for your lifestyle. Another important cost to consider is fuel. And this is something that actually changes quite often. For example, recently, prices were updated again, and gasoline went up to around 2.49 guilders per liter, which is roughly $1.3 to $1.4 per liter. These changes are not random. Fuel prices here are regulated by the government and adjusted monthly based on global oil markets. And because Curaçao relies heavily on imports, any geopolitical tension in the world can directly impact local prices. So fuel is definitely something you need to keep in mind, especially if you plan to drive a lot. So after everything we've been through, let's put things into perspective. Moving to Curaçao is not just a dream. It's a real investment. Between the residency process, shipping the container, renovations, and all the setup costs, we spent somewhere around $20,000 to $30,000 in total to make this move happen. And of course, that number can vary depending on your lifestyle, but it gives you a realistic idea of what to expect. Now, when it comes to monthly living, for a comfortable lifestyle, including rent, utilities, internet, and basic expenses, you're probably looking at around $2,500 to $4,000 per month for a couple. It can be less if you choose a more local lifestyle, or more if you go into premium areas. But overall, this is not a cheap destination. At the same time, it offers something that's hard to quantify. The weather, the ocean, the slower pace of life, and the feeling that you're living differently. So in the end, this is not for everyone. But if it's for you, it can be one of the best decisions you'll ever make. And if you're thinking about relocating, take your time, do your research, and make sure it truly fits your lifestyle. If you enjoyed this video and want more details about anything we talked about, feel free to leave us a comment below. We read everything and will do our best to answer all of your questions. And don't forget to subscribe and follow our journey, because this is just the beginning.